Hi everyone, and here we go for a little bit of basic grammar. So you have three verbs, one in ER, one in IR, and one in RE, and you have your list of tenses here according to the level you're working at. So you need to take those verbs, put them in those tenses, but only with the pronoun I. So you only use je. I don't care about the others. So pause the video, take your time, and I'll mark in 5 seconds. And let's go. So I will work in lines as usual, just because it's easier to apply the same rule each time instead of doing the mechanic of changing tenses each time. So present tense with laver. Laver is an ER verb. You take off the ER, put your je, and then put the present ending for ER verbs, which is an I. Je lave, I am washing, or I wash. To choose, take off the IR, put your pronoun, obviously, and put the present ending for IR verb, which is IS. Je choisis, I am choosing, or I choose. Then, with the last verb, once again, take off the infinitive ending RE. Think about the present ending for RE verbs. It's an S, so I defend or I am defending, je défends. The perfect tense, you want to say I washed, I chose, or I defended. Or I have washed, I have chosen, and I have defended. So you need the part for I have in French again, so you always start with j'ai. Let's put it everywhere. And then that's with those endings that you need to play now. So you take off the ER, and for the perfect tense you replace it with an E accent. You take off the IR here, and once again, perfect ending for the past participle, that part, it's an I. Then you take off the RE, and RE verbs have a past participle ending in U. There you go. Near future, you want to say I am going to wash, I am going to choose, I am going to defend. So you start by writing I am going everywhere. Je vais. And then to wash, to choose, to defend, it's exactly what you have written here each time. So all you need to do is to copy the infinitive. No need to take off or change anything here. So that gives you je vais laver, je vais choisir, je vais défendre. Simple future. I'm going to start by putting the pronoun each time, and I'm going to do those two together because if you know the rule, you know there's a tiny exception here. So for the simple future of ER and IR verb, I copy the infinitive. That's where I start. I don't take off the ending ER or IR. And at the end of this infinitive, I put the ending for je in the simple future, which is AI. Je laverai, I will wash. Je choisirai, I will choose. For RE verbs, you just need to take off the I. So that's what I did. And you add the same ending. Je défendrai, I will defend. Same drill almost for the conditional, so you put your je each time. Once again, you put your infinitive here, exactly like that, no need to make any changes, but you add this time the conditional ending for je each time, so that's AIS, and that's I would wash, and I would choose, je laverai, je choisirai. Once again here, the only little tweak you need to be careful about is that you take off the I, but the ending remains the same, AIS, je défendrai, I would defend. Those two verbs here, those two and those two, are pronounced the same way. Technically there's supposed to be a little difference, but even I don't make that difference. So the only thing that would give away if you're talking in the simple future or the conditional, it would be the context. Let's move on. If you're in year 9, you can stop. If you're in year 7 and 8, you should have stopped a long time ago. Year 10 and 11, let's go for the imperfect. The imperfect, if you remember the rule, you start with the new form of the present tense. So I'm going to do all the drafts here. So new form of the present tense for laver, it's nous lavons. From there, you take off the nous, take off ons. I've got my stem now, so I put the pronoun je, that's the one I want to use. I take my stem, and then I put the imperfect ending for je, which is ais. Je lavais, I used to wash, or I was washing. To choose, that's always the tricky part in the imperfect. It's always with the IR verbs, because we choose in the present, you take off the IR, but then you put ISS, ONS. Take off the nous, take off the ONS, but you need to keep the ISS here. So put the pronoun you want to use, put the stem you have just found, je choisis with that double S at the end, and then put the imperfect ending, AIS. And that's I used to choose, or I was choosing. Same with the last one. If I take the new form of the present tense, I cannot spell anymore, sorry. You take off the RE and you put ONS, cross nous, cross ONS. You've got your stem, je. That's my stem. My ending is still the same, it's AIS. And that's I used to defend, or I was defending, je défendais. The pluperfect. You want to say I had washed, I had chosen, and I had defended. So I had that auxiliary. That auxiliary at the beginning is in the imperfect. So when you want to say I had in the imperfect, it's j'avais. So you put that everywhere. And then you need your past participle exactly in the same way that the ones you have used for the perfect tense. So they are all here. If I want to break down the rule again, take off the ER, put E accent, take off IR, put I instead, and take off RE, put a U instead. J'avais lavé, j'avais choisi, j'avais défendu. That's the translations for the pluperfect. The perfect infinitive after having done something. So, will I have the space? We'll try. After having, you've got your after. That's the infinitive of the perfect infinitive, so that's avoir. And once again, I can put that everywhere. If I'm very accurate, après is not part of the tense, it's just what I give you so that you can use it in context more easily. But back to the formation of the tense. So I have my infinitive here. Now I'm missing the bit that makes it a perfect tense, which is the past participle, which is what we already have here and here. So once again, take off the ER, put an E accent, take off the IR, put an I accent, an I, there's no accents, and put, take off the RE, put a U, and here I need an accent. Present participle, while washing, by choosing, upon defending, you have different translations, but it always starts with en. Then, the rest of your verb here will be starting or based on the new form of the present tense. So luckily I have already done that for the imperfect. I use exactly the same stems. So lave, choisis with my ISS here, and so here I'm only writing my stems coming from here, and at the end of those stems all I have to do is add ANT. En lavant, en choisissant, en défendant, by washing, by choosing, by defending. The imperative, which is the tense I had forgotten in the first video like that that I made. So you want to use that to give an order: wash, choose, defend. So you take the, let's do it with the to form first, and then I'll show you the vous. So you take the to form of the present tense, but you don't need the to because you're just giving an order. You don't say you wash, you just say wash. That's your order. So the to form, I'm going to write it here for this one because there's a trick. So if you want to say you wash in the present tense, it's to lave. Get rid of the to, but because it's an ER verb, you also get rid of the S here. So lave is the to version. If you're talking to several people or someone that you have to show respect to, you will say laver, which is the vous form. Then there's no trick. You would keep the verb exactly like it is with the to form. So if you want to say choose to someone, to one person, you say choisir. If you want to say it to several people, choisissez. Here, the to form, I take off the RE and put an S, or if I want the vous form, I take off the RE, but I put IZ, défendez. There you go. The subjunctive always starts with que. So you put that, and actually, while I'm here, I'll put my pronoun. There you go. The subjunctive is based on the they form of the present tense. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to write the three verbs in the they form of the present tense. So il lave, take off the ER, put ENT. They choose, take off the IR and put ISSENT. And they defend, take off the RE and put ENT again. Then they, you get rid of that and you get rid of ENT everywhere. So that I wash, que je lave, and you put your E for the subjunctive, you realize it looks exactly like the present, so the only thing that will make the difference is the context. That I choose, you take your stem that you have just found and you add the E, and that I defend, you take that stem and once again add the E at the end. Que je lave, que je choisisse, que je défende, that's your subjunctives. The past historic, which is my personal nightmare, even if I'm French. I washed in the past historic. You take off the ER and you replace it with AI. Je lavais. You, for choisir, you take off the IR and you replace it with IS. Je choisis, which once again sounds like the present, but this form, you will always find it in novels, especially classic novels, so you will understand that from the context it's in the past. And once again, you had an irregular here. Sorry, I still haven't found an RE verb that ends with the proper regular ending. So in the meantime, you have I defended, je défendis, IS. Future perfect. I will have washed, I will have chosen, I will have defended. I will have, that's the simple future of the verb to have with je. So j'aurai. Everywhere. And once again, it's a perfect tense, so we've done it so many times now. We have the past participle here, here, and here. That hasn't changed, so take off ER, put E accent. So I'm going to stop repeating that. You know the drill, I've done it 3 times already. So, j'aurais lavé, j'aurais choisi, j'aurais défendu. And the conditional perfect, you want to say, I would have washed, I would have chosen, I would have defended, which is almost the same except that I would have takes an S at the end. So j'aurais. And then guess what? You put down your past participle again. And because those are normal regular verbs, there's no difficulty. You don't agree anything, you just leave it like that. Sorted. So I hope you've got all of this right, and if that's the case, you can move on to the intermediate level, and I hope you will enjoy it. See you guys!